Hi Terry, how are you?
Hi, CD. Yeah, good. How are you?
Good.
I've kind of been reflecting on how how my belief systems around spirituality or enlightenment have changed. And I remember in my 20s, it was always, oh, well, this can never happen to me because I'm not special enough. And that was like that for quite a long time. And then coming to see you in Phuket, I was reading a discourse or a satsang with Ramana, like question and answers. And for some reason, it kind of clicked in my head, well, this can happen for anyone. Like it's possible. There's no isolation of the special people achieving enlightenment and so on. So I thought, okay, well, so my belief system changed. It's available to everybody. And now I can kind of feel like I'm in this searching phase where I'm searching for enlightenment. And it feels so close. Like just that something little can happen and I'm there, so to speak. Yes, I'm trying to see through that, I guess. That's the current phase at the moment. I'm kind of stuck in the searching mode, but I can feel that it can be very close. It's right there, but it's under my nose, but I can't see it. I can't feel it. It's a strange feeling. Yeah, and also at the same time, when I'm at work and I'm like dealing with all the stresses of people surrounding me, then it's like, well, shit, where the hell is it? It's like, what's going on? Yeah, so it's this kind of fluctuation around this intense searching and yeah, I don't know. I'm never going to get there, or how long is it going to take me to get to enlightenment? It's that kind of strange feeling that's what's happening. And then like I had these experiences like last night. In the middle of the night, I'll wake up with all this kind of intense energy kind of clearing. And that just happens out of the blue. Like I wasn't doing anything for that to happen. And it's like it intensifies the desire for it. So yeah, that's kind of what's happening for me at the moment.
Searching for enlightenment is searching for oneself.
Yeah.
It is the light that illumines all. So to speak, it's not literally like that. Without light, you cannot see. Without consciousness, nothing can be. Right?
Right.
Is to realize yourself, to become aware of being that consciousness already. This is why it feels so close, right? It feels so close because before it was basically a myth, something unreachable.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere, some place, some experience, some phenomenon, something that I, as a separate individual self, will have, experience, know, right?
Right.
Somehow, see, listening and reading, especially, I would say that especially the time that you were in the presence of the so-called wise people and holy places or energy, power, places, right? It's really influence you, right? And produce,
sure.
and produce the clarity of understanding. It is reachable, right? It's not for the chosen ones. Okay. In reality, it's not reachable. It is I. The self that I want to realize is the self that I already am. I just haven't seen it clearly. I haven't become aware of this fact just face to face, right?
Right.
Now, I believe to be the ego. I am the seeker. I am the one that is searching, right?
Right.
If the mind asks, who am I, right? The mind is searching for its reality. Okay, what actually the mind is? And the mind is no other than the self, right? That is the realization. The mind looks within, and I believe I am the mind that looks within, right? I arose, appear, emerge as an ego, right?
Right.
And then the I that emerged as an ego looks for the place from where it emerged, from where it arose, right?
Right.
Again, because I believe to be the ego, the seeker, the one that is searching, right? Because I believe to be something different than the self, right? Than what I am, actually. Then the mind, okay, who am I? The mind asks a question, who am I? Or the mind wants to see what I actually is, right?
Right.
Then the mind automatically gets face to face with the substratum, see, with the background of silence. And it gives the impression it's like you have one mirror in front of another mirror, right?
Yeah.
It seems that the individual is looking at the self, and at the same time, the self is looking at the individual.
Yeah, sure.
That I am. This is funny to say, okay, but at the beginning it feels like that, or it might feel like that. When you say, am I the individual that is looking at the self or the mind? Sorry, am I the mind that is looking at the self, or am I the self that is looking at the mind? Because when this is happening, say, hold on a second. The mind cannot look at the self, right?
Right.
Somehow, intuitively, I know I am that. But as that, you don't say I am that. As that, you remain as that. Because the self doesn't say I, and yet is I. So listen carefully, because this is kind of a funny statement, right? And then you say, no, the mind cannot see that. And if the mind is there, because I see the mind looking at that, then who sees the mind looking at that but that?
Yeah.
Right? So I am that. So the self reveals itself by itself to itself as I, but it doesn't say so. But that knowledge somehow is reflected in the mind as I am that. See? I am not looking at that. I am not knowing that. I am that itself, right? So in the statement, I am that, that is the self, and I is the mind. I am is the mind, that is the self. Because even when that is I, it is I-less.
Yeah, sure.
free even from the sense of self, from the I amness. So the introspection or surrender, or total surrender, bag it all. Because you said, okay, the concepts and the knowledge became clear, okay? But they are somehow, for you, already getting exhausted. See, they are already arriving to the expiring date, right?
Right.
Well, you have to forget them, okay? Because the time you think about them is the time that you need to be focused on introspection, right? On self-awareness. This self that you are aware of is yourself. See, it's not another self, because they are not two. Because mind in its purity is some sort of attention. It's just attention or perception, cognition, right?
Yeah.
It's not that.
It seems like
a
collection of stories.
Yeah. It's like it's like the eye for the brain. It's like the eye, it's like the senses for the body, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So it's not the perceptor. It's the act of perception. It's not the cognizer. It's the act of cognition, right? It's not
right,
it's
sure.
conscious. It's body consciousness, right? It's a light that is emerging from the self, and as soon as it touches the body, okay, it appears as I. Right? And then,
right, sure.
And then the identity comes. I am that on which I am reflecting myself on. It's like the sunlight, right? There is the sun and there is the sunlight, right? You cannot separate them, the sun and the sunlight, but the sunlight is an emanation from the sun, right?
Yeah, sure.
A reflection is reflecting its light, right? Then is that light that when it gets associated with a building, for example, or with a post, right? As soon as it touches the post, okay, it projects a shadow.
Right.
And the shadow is, I am the post, I am this body, I am this object, see?
Sure.
It's a reflected light that produces the appearance of the shadow, right? Of course, the sun is there, it's the source of all that, right? But the sun as such doesn't suffer, the self doesn't suffer from ignorance or from enlightenment. It's already enlightened. It's already the light of light. It's already free. It's already, it never suffer from ignorance, right?
Yeah, sure.
It's like you have a glass of water, you put a drop of blue ink, right? The water never became blue. See, the blueness was covering, right?
Yeah, sure.
The transparency of the water. But if you take a sample of the water, and the water it hasn't become blue, it hasn't changed its nature. It's still H2O, right?
Right.
This is why when you become aware of the self was never ignorant. So there was never ignorance in the self. See, it has been like this always, right? Perfect, pristine, untouched, blissful, silent, intelligent, and conscious. Right?
Right.
The absolute witness. And Ramana Maharshi said, so the body doesn't say I. The self doesn't say I. Something in between arises as I. And that is the mind. See, the mind arises, the conscious being, the conscious is what people call the consciousness, right? But this consciousness must be relative. It's not absolute because it appears and it disappears, right?
Sure.
This sense of this conscious being, okay, that some people call consciousness, right? it appears. It arises in between, and after it appears, it says, I am that, I am the body. I appears, and then I am the body. See? The light arises, associates itself with the body, and produces the shadow, the individual, the apparent individual self.
Right.
And the mind appears as a separate individual self out of association, identification, attachment with the body. So the body doesn't need to get enlightened or ignorant. The body is not to blame. The body is not the problem here. Right?
Yeah, sure.
So apparently this in between that is associated with the body and looking in that way, then it's torn, see, it turns around and look within, right? And it appears to be that there is an individual that realizes the self.
Yeah.
Because of the presence of the mind appears that there is somebody there that is having the realization or the understanding or the clarity or the knowledge. It's just reflecting here. It's getting reflected here.
Yeah, sure.
So I believe to be this one, looking for this one. When this one looks for this one and this one reveals itself, it cannot reveal itself to this one because there is nothing that can see this one, right?
Uh-huh.
The consciousness that this individual has, see, is borrowed by the absolute consciousness. See?
Right.
In reality, it's not even conscious of itself. It's the absolute consciousness that is aware of the relative consciousness. And whatever the relative consciousness is aware of, right?
Gotcha.
I am looking at that means abide in that, see, remain there. You remain there, you abide in that until you remain as that, means until you are fully convinced that you are not there, but that itself. This is non-duality. Okay. I am that. There is no I and that. I reunited with what? I one with that. See?
Yeah.
It's non-duality. I am that. If I believe I am the body, then I am this and you are that too. Hmm?
Yeah.
I and you. That's the mind as ego. This is why the analogy is given, the sunlight, the moonlight, full moon, daytime, right? At night, you say, oh my God, thanks God we have the full moon so we can see. So the moon is illuminating the beach and the stars and the ocean and ourselves, and we can see here and there. Huh? Thanks to the light of the moon. During the day, you don't need the moonlight, right? And you realize it was never the moonlight that was illuminating anything. It was just reflecting the light of the sun. And because of the reflected light of the sun, we could see. See, so the mind is what allows you to see, illumines the world, right?
Yeah, sure.
Then you realize that the one that is really illuminating is the sun. Means the one that is conscious, aware, what really sees is the self. See, and you become aware somehow that you are that. It's like when you see the analogy of the million buckets of water, right? Midnight, full moon, they are exposed to the open space and you can see 1 million of moons, right? 1 million of individual moons. This is absolute consciousness, and you see 1 million of individual consciousness. What is the existence of that consciousness? It must be relative, right?
Right.
Because if you break the bucket, then this individual consciousness is gone.
Yeah.
And why you can see the individual consciousness, but because of the light of the absolute consciousness. See? Even because of the moonlight, you can see the reflected light in the bucket.
Yeah, sure.
So take the body as the bucket. You kill the body, see, throw the body away. The body is gone. That moon reflected there, it has no choice but to go back, see, to merge back, to return to its source. That can be done in the awakened state, right? While the body is alive. So one can see that the reflection and the moon and the bucket also, right?
Right, okay.
That the body, which is the world, right? The mind and the self are not three separate entities, or not even three entities. They're one and the same.
Right.
The mind will not die. The mind does not die unless the body is gone. You see, this conscious being will remain there. The idea that it has a separate existence is what disappears. See? The jiva mukta, see? The individual, no longer seen as separate. See? Free from it's a freedom from the idea of separate existence, right?
Right.
So there is I am, but there is no identity. See?
Yeah.
For the practicality of daily life. Then, going back to your question, your statement, I've been in Australia, and I work also in this public hospitals and mental hospitals and all age houses and all that. And Australian, there is a lot of stuff going on with the worker. They are very much aware of the law and the rights and all. They're basically always fighting for the rights. Yes or no? There's always this
Yeah. Very
standard,
big.
right? Knowing the knowledge, and the boss will not, because I know the law and I know. And you can hear these conversations in the cafeteria with your fellow. You just don't get involved. So all that goes on. But somehow you just focus on your work. See, I just need to change the bedsheet to this lady while she's in bed. Right? And all blah, blah, all the arguments, you just don't get involved into any of that stuff. You just
Yeah, sure.
what you do, you take your old lady, put it sideways, madam, and then you roll the bed sheets, right? And then you roll it the other side, and then you roll it, and then you put it back. And then next is the woman also. Or whatever it is that you have to do. So you're focusing what you're doing. The rest you don't get involved. You finish your job, off you go home, and you leave all that behind, unless you make friends with somebody and then you meet in the pub or whatever, in a coffee with one of your co-workers. I know you fell in love with one and marry them. I don't know, whatever. Right?
I try and stay away from all my co-workers.
Or whatever goes on spontaneously, see, naturally. It becomes so obvious. See, there is the background here. And there is, can I say fourth ground? How do you say what is in front?
Foreground.
And you have the back. Foreground, right?
Foreground, yeah.
You have the background and you have the foreground, and you have me apparently knowing both and talking about both, and right? I'm knowing that all is one and all. There's no one there.
Yeah.
In reality, there's the knowledge of that. There is the knowledge of the truth. Reflecting itself from the truth itself, right? That it reflects on, right? That is reflecting. Is a knowingness that there is only the absolute existence, right? But there is no there's no knower of this. See?
Right. Sure.
Said there is jnana, but there is no jnani. See? There is self-knowledge, meaning by that the knowledge that the self is all, but there is no knower of the self. There is realization, but there is no one that realizes it. Right? Realize it. There is enlightenment, but there is nobody that gets enlightened. See?
Gotcha.
And this mind, you no longer have to worry to keep it quiet, because when it's not necessary, it keeps quiet. When it is necessary, it works for you. So it comes to your rescue, does whatever it does, and keeps quiet again. Because that's what it is. It's kind of like your secretary, your impersonal assistant. Not personal, but because you have no clue what you have in front of you anymore.
Yeah, sure.
Without mind, you don't know that there is a wall or a tree, or that it is green, or that the sky is blue, right? Or that there is a body. You don't know anything. You as the self knows absolutely nothing. You as the self simply are. Now, when the knowledge is necessary for the practicality of daily life, then the apparent knower shows up, okay, with the known, and does what it does, and when the job is done. If the mind is there as me, as I, see, as an actual self, right? Then it's always there, see?
Right, okay.
The thought I am the body is there all the time, right? If there is no ego, it may show up. Yes, I am here. Yes, I order this. Yes, where shall I sign? Here. And then you put your name, right? Cesar.teruel, your ID number, your signature, your fingerprints, whatever. Take your wallet and make the payment for the DHL FedEx guy. Off it goes. And then the job is done. And it keeps quiet again. So no effort to stop thinking, and no effort to think. No effort to do, no effort to be still, physical or mental, right? All that's spontaneous, and it doesn't really matter anymore. See? This, that, or the other. And you're always aware of your reality, always. Even if you begin to have glimpses, even if you just step back and trying to recollect that knowledge, right? To recall it, right? Hold on a second. If you make a pause, all that comes back again. Huh?
Right.
And you know that the ego is back, you just know it. Hold on. You find yourself again drawn into arguments and wait. The first glimpse does the trick.
Okay.
You know that you were never trapped anywhere, that you never was never caught anywhere, that you were never limited to anything, that none of that belongs to you. All that belongs to the mind. All that is mind. You always remain as you are. As the absolute blissfulness, you see, that you are. Silence that you are. This block, you see, this solid, I don't know if solid is a word, it's massive. This infinite reality, see, this vastness. And here is the thing. The absolute knowledge is that you alone are. There's nothing else there. There's nobody else there. It's absolute loneliness. Right? I wouldn't say loneliness, but aloneness. Because loneliness carries a psychological, emotional kind of a feeling, like energy or whatever.
Yeah.
I alone, and there is nothing but I. There is I am I, and there is nothing but I. See? Right? Like I am the absolute, and the relative is the absolute is also I. They are not two. This is non-duality.
Right.
It's not relative and absolute. They are not two. They're one. No one as a number, right? One and the same. See,
Yeah, sure.
and then this also disappears. Non-duality, all that gone. That is state where no thought, no concept, including non-duality, absolute, none of that is sense. That's the meaning of just being. To see is to be. Not being this, that, or the other, and like this and like that. No images about the other, no images about yourself. Like, listening is what is doing it. Job, family, friends, whatever. The girl in the counter today at the pharmacy. See. You can pay to the self, go to the self cash. Say, no, I don't work here, I'm sorry. It's more convenient, yes, for you, not for me. Right? No, but this is how it is. This is how it works. I am a client. Okay? That's my product. I pay, you do the rest of the job. I'm not going to that stupid machine to do it. And you can't force me, can you? Must be an option, must be a choice, right? No, but please don't try to convince me of this because it's not going to waste your time. You don't know what to do, right? And then you kindly say, sweetie, don't take it personally. You're an employee, you have to do what you're told, otherwise you were going to lose your job, right? And I was really kind of her. And then she was doing her job efficiently, and I was happy with that, right? Have a good night, you too, sweetie. Thank you very much. You've been super efficient and super helpful. This is how it works, right? Right?
Yeah, sure.
Self-check. No, I'm not doing that. And then there are two guys on the self-checks. Hours because the machine does, so the guy doesn't know how to use it. How can I scan it? And then they have to call an assistant to assist the two guys that are doing the self-check. But you have the self-check in the first place, right? Are you following? You just don't get emotion. You just this is another thing that you become direct, right?
Right.
It's, the reactions are sharp and direct and sincere, and it's unshakable. No, sweetie, I'm not going. Why? Because I don't work here. So I have to come here and do this the job of a self-check. No, sweetie, that's not. I'm all age. Or in a shop today, or in this office today, please, can you give me your ideas? I don't have to give you my ideas. In this country, the only people that have the right to ask you for an ID is the police, the security agents, and the bank. That's all. I don't have to show my ID to anybody. What's the point of you asking me for my ID? You know that it is illegal. No, but it's for you to. The guarantee, if there is a guarantee, I can send my son with the paper and the product. It's a guarantee, you have to do it. No, now I have to be the owner, yes, to make it more difficult because the owner is in Miami and the washing machine gets damaged. See, nobody, you won't be able to fix it because the guy's not here. So all this is for you guys. I'm sorry. And again, this is sweetie. I know this. Yeah, I know, but it's okay between you and I. You know, no? I'm just surprised that you are asking me for my ID. Yeah, they ask you for an ID here anywhere in any shop to register in the system. But this one asked me for the actual ID. You are not supposed to give it to anyone.
Yeah.
Right? And then this happens, right? And it's gone, forgotten. It came to my mind now for the practicality of the conversation, right?
Right.
But from then until now, I didn't even remember that or thought about it. So memory is there, obviously, right?
Yeah.
It's not here, right?
It's not thought of over and over
No,
again.
it's gone. See, it goes to the box there, to the Pandora box. Go to the collective memory, right? It's not your memory, it's collective. If you need it, it will come from them. See? Or whatever it is needed, whether it is memory, whether it is known or new, right? It will show up. See? It gets materialized and dematerialized. It gets manifested and then goes into an unmanifested state. Right? It reveals itself. It's a revelation. That's the meaning of revelation without making it a revelation of the truth. No? It just reveals itself, right? And then you need an action that meets the mind. Otherwise, it's just you don't need to think and walk, for example. Right? How to walk and how now left, now right, now it just happens, right? Somehow a memory is there, believe it or not, because this is it's a program, right?
Yeah, sure.
We have predisposition, right? There must be already a pattern there, okay, that makes this to behave in a particular way. And you don't have to worry about that. It's just so this straightforwardness comes, right? Raw and flat and simple, and the people can handle it, right? Today I was accused, nearly as a criminal. I was told today that you cannot get away with it or something like that. Well, since when spontaneity is a crime or a sin? Hello, right? You just act. No, sorry. So it is the bird, the dog, the sun, and the wind. See? They don't have any psychological issues, sense of guilt or shame or pride. The wind just blows. And if it devastates your house, it's, oops, I'm sorry, I feel so bad, so guilty, I do apologize. It's any therapy. The tornado says, the tornado devastates your town and it disappears. It's never the same tornado. It will come with a different shape, even as a different name. It's not Katerina, it's always a women's name. Next one is going to be Karen. Karen is level number 6. Why tornadoes? I don't remember tornadoes having a male name. Maybe they did. I don't remember. Don't recall. Because his nature is having a period of something. This is in a bad mood, and it's a woman. Not you, it's me. I'm going through something. Right? The shark bites your hand and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I do apologize. Oh my God." And you tell to the shark, "See, you can't go, you're not gonna get away with it." Of course, it goes away with your hand. Forget about your hand. You got away with it. Forget about it. You forget about it. It's gone. And it's done. Shark is done. Your hand is done. Gone, right? The expectations are the cause of our problems, right? Expecting somebody to be like this or like that, life to be like this, and forget it. This is it. I am trying to connect it. I will not say the person because no need for that, but this is big drama. Huh? Impunity.
What's that?
I think it's impunidad. I don't know. Let me see if I can find the word in English. Impunidad. You have to see so many things in this life. It's amazing. Yeah, impunity. Now you Google it. The meaning of that. Means like there will be no punishment.
Right.
I'm supposed to face a punishment for mine. Either punishment or a reward. So if I was behaving a different way, I will have a nice words, right? Maybe a special prize. I don't know, another donation or something, or whatever. It can be something, or a little heart on the chat, or a hug, a kiss, or something on the hands. See? A punishment or a reward, right? So funny. And still you love this person. You love this person. You have no issues. See? Okay. You bastard. Okay. No, very good, very good. I hate you. Okay. I love you. Okay.
So there's always a compassion for the other.
Of course, these people yeah, the amount of suffering that mostly happening there. It's a self-punishment. It's a self-inflicted pain. It's completely unconscious. I create that for myself. Just, and I can only get rid of that. Understanding that this I is not I, that this I is thought. The you that complains about is also thought, right?
Yeah, sure.
And the subject and the story between the subject and the object collectively is illusory, is thought. Sometimes the subject becomes an object of of criticism in you. I am an idiot, see? I am an asshole, see? I'm a donkey, I'm worthless. See? Then I is between I and I, not between I and you. See? This is between I and I. See? So I am always blaming somebody to be responsible of my happiness or my suffering, either someone else or myself. What self? What self is that? That's the inquiry.
Yeah, sure.
Me, who am I? If this is me, then who am I? So the story about you disappear, the story about I disappear as that. See? It is this uncompromising attitude. See? It's no compromise, right? Honesty, see? Sincerity, simplicity, straightforwardness. What? Yes, tell me. There's no attachment to anything or anyone. See? You love everybody, everything. You're not attached to anything or anyone. You love. You're not attached or detached. The other one is yourself. So to whom are you loving? Or yourself.
Sure.
Yourself loving yourself. See, poor
I
girl.
think it was.
Poor girl to then the pharmacy. I feel sorry for her because you don't mean the person react in that way. The person can help you. Please use the self-check. Say, no, why? I don't work here. I have to. Like, I didn't mean to offend you. I'm not offended. I'm just not going to do it. Because everything, this is the new system is like that. You're gonna work, see, in the same shop, in the same bank, in the same city. You do it. See, you do it yourself online. You do it yourself, right? You do it yourself, right? Make a phone call. For this, number one, for that, number two, for three, and in most cases nowadays, to speak with somebody, there is no option for that. See? There is always missing an option. See, to send you to hell, which bottom, there must be an option. See, to tell you to fuck off, press number three. The option is not there. You have to add a finger, see, on the keyboard. Another possibility, no? An option too. So it must be there. The absolute has 12 possibilities. Must be there too. You do it yourself. Here in the supermarket, they just throw you the plastic bags. You are paying the cash, you pay in, right? And they throw you, you pack your things. Right? And pay for the bags. Many people don't know that they pay for the plastic bag. I didn't know it. I was checking bills the other day because we missed something in the say, hold on a second, I'm paying for the bloody plastic bags. Say pay for the plastic bags and you pack. Right? I won't help you. I won't even help you to open for you to
Last week you were saying that I think it was maybe some teacher was saying that why do you worry about the kids in the orphanage? They're already advanced because they've learnt detachment.
Yeah.
So they don't have that story of I'm needed by someone.
And your boss will do the trick.
What's that?
Your boss will do the trick. See? Somebody's gonna piss you off along the way for sure, right? And you will say,
Yeah.
how can I avoid this? So, and it happens again. I need to have an image of myself, right? A mental image of myself
Uh-huh.
that I am defending, right? Or that feels highlighted, prized, right? If I am
Right. Sure.
that's not a problem, isn't it? Oh, Terry, you're an amazing worker. We're going to increase your salary. We're going to give you more benefits and bonuses and stuff and more days off and holidays and, and you go and talk to your wife. Oh, see, my boss told me this and that. And you feel, see, elated, right?
Yeah.
It's the opposite, then you feel humiliated, right?
Mm.
And what I explained today is, Cesar, but why? It's no why, that's it. I just won't do it. So you laugh, you laugh about it. You pack your things. Okay. That's a matter. Really? Okay.
That things become comical.
Yes. Even when you have an argument with somebody, even if you scold somebody, you don't have anything against that person. It's the behavior you are referring at, right? And you find it's the
Sure.
behavior. There's nobody there behaving in that way. It's just a behavior, right? The stupid selfish behavior, right? And,
Right.
and you're trying to make this person to become aware of this fact. You don't do it because you want to exterminate, to kill, destroy, disappear from the face of the earth, all these people, because you believe that you disappear these people from the world, the behavior they disappear. No, they will die, and the tendency will remain, and you're going to see it sooner or later again. It will reborn. See, you don't it doesn't disappear like that, right?
Right.
It disappears by self-awareness. You have nothing against anybody, but come on. I mean, hello, right? Still you can say so without having any hatred or resentment or anything. It can be the closest person. See. So remember, definitely between you and I, there's no way, there's nothing else to talk about. I know you're old. I'm so sorry that you're in this situation, but here, there is your money, there is your rent, there is your food. That's all. Anything you need, you call me. It's not a chance that you and I can have any kind of relationship. It's a transaction, a money transaction. That's you have no. That's a fact, right?
Right.
If you're in front of a brick wall, you can't pass through. You turn around and walk away, right? Or you're gonna do what?
Right.
Sit there and stare to the brick wall, or you're gonna talk to the brick wall and get nothing. This is what am I doing here? I just turn around. When the brick wall needs some painting and fixing or whatever, I come and paint it and fix it, and that's all. I get nothing, nothing back from it. I give an input, but there is no feedback. So that's fine. I do my input. You know, you do it. You love, you care, you carry on. See? Are you following?
Right. Yeah.
And you feel compassion, you will feel sad even. Oh my God, poor thing. You know, as a brother or whoever it is. See, this is this uncompromising attitude. It's no negotiation with the ego, no compromising. Ramana even compromised his own physical integrity for the sake of the physical integrity of his devotees, right? When he was hit on his knees.
Right, sure.
And he told him, please don't do that. It's not good for you. Keep quiet. Oof. Another one. Police came, no? With the thieves. Who was it? Find the one that I did this in the previous life, and then lock him in jail. And kept quiet. Even the effort to be aware of yourself becomes a contract. It becomes the effort. There is a moment that the effort to become aware of yourself, see, what becomes the obstacle to be aware of yourself.
Right, sure.
It's there. It's just saying. Because sometimes the mind pretends to be unaffected and witnessing in that state. Oh God, I've been there. I'm laughing at myself too. I am that. No, I am. See, I am not means I am not only this. See, I am also that. Same. If people knew that you feel what they feel, they will stop straight away. If the seeker could realize that the Guru feel exactly what they feel, even just for the sake of the Guru, they will. I'm sorry, I wake up. So you don't have to. You don't have to see that. You don't have to see me or feel me. So I'm telling you, this is why they say the best thing that you can do for your Guru is to wake up. for the world, for you, for the world. Just wake up. That's the best thing you can do. So something can be there.
I had a theory that you know how people say they have these dreams when they're young of flying, like they just have lots of people say that.
I have it
And
for years.
Yeah.
Recurrent. There was a repetitive bloody dream on the same beach, flying, but I couldn't fly more than half meter from the ground. Always end smashing my face against the rocks. There was the beach, and at the end of the beach, there was a mountain. It was very frequently, and then, I want to take off, and then, poof, and that was it.
My theory is that that's an experience of beingness while you're sleeping, but people don't realize it.
It must be an unconscious desire to take off, see? To fly, to fly away, to freedom. It's a Why do we look for freedom? Because it's supposed to be natural, right? Because bondage doesn't feel normal. So I'm looking for freedom, right?
Yeah.
Why I'm looking for something permanent, right? Peace and happiness. It must be natural. See, so all these cannot be natural. So I'm looking for what is natural. So I'm looking for myself, but I'm just looking in the wrong place.
Right.
I'm looking for it here, right, in the world.
Yeah.
Ramana Maharshi says the search for happiness is okay. The only is that you're looking in the wrong place.
Yeah, sure.
You're looking for what is permanent in what is impermanent, and the one that is looking for what is permanent is also impermanent. So, and then, therefore, what is impermanent cannot experience what is permanent neither, right? Only what is permanent can know its permanency and the impermanency of everything else. This is why I gave an analogy. It seems that they're face to face. This is the analogy of Shiva and Ganapati. See, they are face to face, right? Who are you? I am God. I don't care. You are not entering here. And Shiva said, fuck off. Okay? And he's dead. Right?
Right.
So if this one is dead or disappears, how can this, right? So it appears that they are face to face, right? And then who is really looking at whom? Right? And then Ganapati came back, no, he was resurrected. See, but the sense of separation from this one was not longer there. And Shiva said, don't you know who am I? See, there's your question there. Who am I? Who are you? See? God, I don't care. I was told that not even you enter here. Come on. Enough is enough. You killed your son. It's not my son. What son is that? It's your son. See, the individual is a creation of the illusory power, right? This is your son. It's not mine. It have nothing to do with that. Bring it back. See? So without me, you cannot do anything, right?
Right.
Means the power cannot function, operate separately from the absolute. There's the dependence of the relative from the absolute. See? Okay.
Right. Gotcha.
There is your child. It resurrected, right? Without the sense of separation, individuality, and so on. This is what the ego does. It collapses, it will rise back, but no longer, the mind will no longer be understood, feel, sense, known as a separate entity.
Right.
And then you have your trinity, no? In India, you have these trinities also, right? Male, female, and some kind of a child is there. Rama, Sita, Hanuman. Radha, whatever. Sita, Ram, Ganesh. Trinity. God or the self, the individual, and the manifestation.
Right.
And you can feel it. There is a word, see? But the background, the foreground, and I in between. Apparently, as a novel of the foreground and the background, and myself. So it's the background that is aware of the foreground and the one that in between, that is in between. But the background cannot see the foreground and the dude in between is separate from itself. It doesn't know anything, it's just that. I see, I'm just here. Everything else I do. I just am. This is why we get fascinated with it, right? Why we withdraw. Consciously or unconsciously, right? At the beginning, apparently consciously, and then unconsciously. At the beginning, by the means of efforts, and then effortlessly. See? Because what is there? And compared with that, even if I have it, I'm still see here.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, I'm not going there. You bring it here. I have it from here. See? Are you following what I'm saying? See?
Yeah.
No, keep it for yourself. It doesn't really matter, right? Because that is sweet, right? And this is bitter. But this is beyond any of all that stuff. One's reality is, this is why we love so much sleep. This is why we don't want to do anything. Because the apparent individual soul is exhausted. Over and done with. That's it. It's already dead. And it's already in heaven. Right? There is one foot here, one foot there. When the
What do you
ground,
mean?
when the ground there is over, it has no choice. The 2 feet has to be there, right?
Right, sure.
Individual has one foot in heaven and 1 foot on earth. Already, see, it has to wait. Doesn't have to wait. Doesn't have to wait to die to put foot on heaven, right? Because it's already in heaven, right? It's in heaven
Yeah.
on earth. When the earth is taken away from it, body is gone, then the other foot has no choice. And that's it. 1 foot in heaven and 1 foot on earth is samadhi. 2 feet in heaven because there is no more earth is maha samadhi. Yes, a goodbye if I ever existed. Ramana described the Jiva Mukti, the Jiva Mukta. Remember the coolies in India?
Not really.
Cool is the name that the guy, there's this skinny guy, generally that is skinny guys, I don't know why, that carry your luggage from the train or carry stuff from some other people. See, they're carriers.
Right, yeah, yeah.
Carriers, right?
Yeah.
Like all these heavy things they carry for you, you know. No, they said that this man, see, can't wait to put all that stuff down. See, the only thing they have in head is just to get there and put it down, and that's it, and rest. They said the Jiva Mukta is like that, it's just waiting. He has no choice. He has to get there, and when he gets there, he has to throw it down, right? He doesn't have to, he doesn't want to, he has no choice, right? Because that's his duty.
Right.
It's a duty, it's a job. So the sage is the same with the body. He's just waiting for this to put this down, right? When he gets there, when the destiny, when whatever this came into existence for, it's over. Job is done, gone. It's gone before. See? It's already gone, right?
Right.
It's no longer here, right? Yes, mom, yes, dad, yes, brother, yes, this, yes, okay, fine, whatever, right? Okay. Waiting to throw all that for him. Okay. Yes, awake and asleep at the same time. See, here and there. It's aware of this and aware of the illusion and the reality simultaneously, heaven and earth simultaneously. Oh, my nephew from New Zealand. In Oakland.
Wow.
What else?
Good, Cesar.
Hmm. Looking looking for heaven, from heaven, as heaven. Looking for myself, in myself, as myself. This is, and the understanding of this make you stop. What? Practice, what for? I mean, the mind makes no sense, right?
Yeah.
And Ramana Maharshi said so. There are some that when they listen to the truth, the question about practice, effort, sadhana simply does not arise. There are very rare cases that you don't tell them anything. You just sit there with this type of beings, if we can call it like that. Oh. Oops. Dale. Mi compadre, ¿no está por ahí? Okay, see you when I see you, Mike. They say like that, no?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
see you when I see you. Vemos cuando nos vemos.